and welcome to Toni's Tarot and Astrology. Today we're going to be looking at the Mercury Retrograde. I'm going to be doing a tarot spread on it, and also we're going to be talking about the astrology that's going on. So Mercury is currently still stationary. It's stationary until the 14th this month, and then it will start to progress backwards over where it's been. So sitting at 4 degrees Gemini, so anything any planets around that degree for your chart, 4 degrees Gemini or even 4 Sag, you'll be really feeling the retrograde. So retrogrades are it's a time when we get to actually rewind or rethink what we're doing. The word re comes from its prefix coming from the meaning to go back. So, or to rewind. So it's when we reassess where our life's going. It's when we can relook at plans that we've got. You know, it's a time when sometimes we need to repair things. It could be our cars, our telephones, any form of communication is relative to Mercury. So Mercury is the planet of the mind, and it really, where it sits in your astrology chart, really relates to how you think. And Mercury is really, how we express ourselves. So, when it goes backwards, sometimes our expressions can be really confusing. Sometimes we can have misunderstandings and miscommunications, and it can create sometimes stresses and difficulties with others. So Mercury is when we tend to go, as we're looking back into the past, and stuff that we haven't addressed or that we've shelved can come up for us to re-look at. We can have the old feelings, we can be revisiting an old painful situation which could just be coming to our mind, or we could be fully experiencing it. Can also be when we have reunions with people, reconnecting with people, and that can also trigger us to do the past as well. So we do need to have times when we do stop and look back and look at what possible mistakes we've made in the past, or what we actually need to maybe, to say, relook at to fix, or to make it work better for us. So sometimes it's a whole relook at where we're going with our life, and we make big decisions, or we think we're making decisions, and then as Mercury starts to move forward again, we find that actually no, our life's fine and we don't really want these changes. So it's not a time to make decisions, it's a time to look at things. So let's see what the cards have to say. We've got some interesting aspects too to Mercury this month. We've got Mercury trine Pluto and Mercury square Saturn. That's happening at the same time on the 23rd of May. So that's when I feel around the 23rd of May is when we're going to be quite triggered with this retrograde. So let's have a look and see what the cards have to say. Okay, so the theme seems to be here about our security. Seems to be where we're going to be looking at our properties, our investments, our security, our work, the areas where we feel like we're, where we're building up, where we're wanting to move forward, where we're wanting to really reach our ultimate goals. Looking at these cards, it looks like there's definitely been a feeling of lack of rather than abundance, and I think this could be a time when we are maybe tightening up a little bit on our spending, maybe looking at what's really important for us to be spending our finances on, and really just, like I said, wanting to create more security, wanting to just feel stable in our situations. Now there does seem to be some new growth coming in, and this new growth is going to be relative to new learning, or this could be a time when you actually look at what is it I want to extend my ideas or my hobbies, interests, or even my career skills on, and how do I want to upskill. So that feels like it's coming more from an emotional point of view, like what am I really interested in, and where do I really want to put my energy with regards to my career. So like I say, it's coming from an emotional, it's going to be what makes you feel good, but also what can be really good stability for the future. It does look like this is really relative to the water and earth signs with regards to wanting to do new learning and new growth. So if you're not aware of what the water and earth signs are, the water signs are Cancer, Scorpio and Pisces, and the earth signs are Taurus, Virgo and Capricorn. There's a little bit of change going on here, and I feel like there could be excuse me, there could be some unsettling news to start off with, and this news may be about, well, this news looks like it's to do with career again, but it's about having things back in balance. So I feel that with this retrograde, people will be really assessing again their careers, but of course this is all about your security, but their careers in the sense of where they really want to again put their heart. So what I'm trying to say here is I feel like there's a balancing act going on to do with values right now. Now that would make sense with the Taurian energy that we've got. This is all Mercury is currently in Gemini, like I said. It's going to be moving back into Taurus around the 23rd, and the 23rd seems to be the sort of the trigger time when these aspects are being set off. And this could be a time around that time of month, that could be the time where we're actually going, no, I'm not staying in this situation, things aren't in balance here, things aren't just, they're not fair, and this isn't where I want to be. So there could be potential disruptions, but I'm sort of feeling more like annoyances with others over situations that could make us just go, I've had enough, I'm doing what I want to do, this is not right for me, and this is not in balance with me. That really seems to be the strong theme. And again, with Taurus being in the values, of course, it's also about our assets and our security, banking systems and so forth. This is about what's going to really work for me now. So, and meaning everyone here listening to this. So, and of course, this is geared towards those that happen to pick up this video and listen to it, this reading. So, there is some more freedom coming on in here with the future, for financial growth, and there could be new ways of making money, good investments making a good return around this time, but I feel like this is going to bring in a lot more abundance in the bigger picture. This is still about clearing endings, clearing what is not working for us, but also looking towards the future and looking at how we can make money again through our passions and with the freedom of expression that we're really wanting to emphasize. Yeah, I think that again the theme, I'm going to do another spread here, but I feel for this spread that the theme really is about just wanting to get away from circumstances that are not right, and this is the time for opportunities to come in really strongly. I think for like I said, the earth and the water signs are going to have a relatively easier time, but the air signs and the fire signs are going to be battling with this a little bit more on their reason for, say, whether it's to do with leaving career or leaving certain circumstances that have become unproductive. It feels like there's a little bit of a battle or an argument here that could just go, that's it, I'm over it. So The retrograde really feels like it's bringing a lot of truths to the fore. Some real hard truths are going to come to us and go, this is not right, and what am I wanting to change? So I feel like from that, then we're going to have a lot of new growth and a much more productive energy coming in once this retrograde is really starting to move back into Gemini again and go forward again. It actually goes forward in Taurus, but once it gets back to Gemini where it's sitting now, I feel like we come full circle and we're making much bigger plans for the future. And that's what I'm seeing with the second spread here. So the first spread tells me what the energies are, what it's about. The second one sort of gives a bit more indication on what we've got to do to get there. And it's saying really step into new things. Don't be scared of change. Don't be scared of things that you haven't experienced before. This is an opportune time, and I will explain the astrology around that shortly, where we have a lot of productivity coming in. So there's a lot of forward movement for anybody who's geared up and ready to really step into another level. And, you know, things have been sort of held back for a while. Things have been a bit frustrating for a while. And with this, you know, it's just, it's like, you know, the train it's just been sort of just warming up, and it's going to start ploughing through. So what you'll find is that, yeah, if you really are shifting your energy and listening to your higher self and really wanting to do something more important, more valuable to you, and more valuable really to society on a whole, if you're wanting to feel that true fulfillment, you know, this is all going to happen quite reasonably fast as we stepping into June. And so I am a bigger picture reader, so my cards will never just stick with, you know, over the next couple of weeks, always going to why we're going through what we're going through. But I feel that this retrograde time is the reassessment time, and as we hit that 23rd, we get some really strong energies are going to bring the truths home, and that's when we can really start to move forward with move forward into new areas. So not so much about making decisions. I mean, of course, we have to make decisions for that, but some people may find that they don't even have the chance or the time to make a decision. Just their life just changed so quickly. So we have had Uranus was, you know, sitting conjunct this last new moon, and of course that's going to bring things in quite quickly and suddenly, and it's not really in our control, but it's Spirit saying just trust, just go with it. This is all for your higher good. And this message here from Spirit here is saying, you know, this could be a little bit hard on our nervous system because it's an unsettling time, but it's an exciting time. Things like magnesium would be really good at this time, ginkgo, any sort of brain tonics would be awesome, because I think that it's going to be a very stimulating time for our minds, especially as we're planning our futures. Very strong time for empowerment towards the female principle. Now, of course, that's for men as well. And, you know, this is just saying that it's a great time to connect. It's a great time to share with those that we feel love, to express our love. And also, there could be, really looks like there's going to be a lot of plans going on to do with connections, what we call our soul family. That are going to be, you know, coming together for a common purpose, so that we can, you know, for a project or for something quite important. So that would be, that's probably connecting to the Mercury, that conjunction node back in Taurus at the end of this month. Getting extremely good news about money coming in, extra money. Now, that'll be nice for everyone here. But it feels like this could be like a rebate or a return, or some money that we weren't expecting comes through. It's almost like there could be a big bonus coming to a lot of people, and especially those that have been working really hard and feeling like they've been, you know, everything's been taken from them as they're working for it, if you like. You know, they're really feeling like they can't build up, feeling like they can't create the security that they really want. So I feel that there's going to be much better opportunities, whether this is to do with investments going on, but I also feel more freedom in our workspace as well. So that looks really exciting. It's quite a fated time with the Wheel of Fortune sitting here. So I feel that any turns of events that happen on a worldwide basis are going to be ultimately very, very beneficial for humanity during this time. So I'll just go over the aspects. So what we have is we have Mercury trine Pluto. Now, like I said, this is around the 23rd. Mercury trines Pluto, and then Mercury squares Saturn. So the Mercury trine Pluto, a very, very powerful combination. It's in Earth signs. Mercury will be in Taurus at that time. I mean, at the trine, because we're sitting around the cusp of Taurus, the trine will be in Gemini for a little bit, then it moves into Taurus when it has real strong effect. And Pluto sitting in Capricorn, so it's very earthy, it's very practical. And what our Mercury Pluto represents is Mercury being communication. Pluto is external forces, and it's very strong, powerful energy that has a strong influence on the masses. So from a grand scale, you know, this could be a lot to do with political arena, it could be a lot to do with you know, the media, people that have a strong influence over the masses through their communication. On a personal level, I feel this Mercury Pluto is going to be about you know, wanting to really be heard. Really, it's a very strong persuasive skill, Mercury Pluto. So anyone who has Mercury Pluto in their chart, they have that real art of the communication and being able to convince or persuade others. So what I feel is that with new ideas and with new realizations that are going on during this time, excuse me, you know, there will be a strong pull to be convincing those around us to get on board that this is going to be a grand plan for the future. And so when I'm talking about connecting up with soul family, you know, it could be situations where, you know, soul family, and when I say soul family, that can be anybody, it can be your close family as well, depending on your relationships with them. But it's really those connections that you feel the most comfortable with, that know you at a very deep level. And so with that, I feel it could be like a situation of property investment together, or it could be a situation of setting up business together, or going into certain investments together. So, you know, it's others are going to be bringing others into these situations. Or it could be that we've come up with this brilliant idea and we're wanting to serve humanity in some form, and we're bringing in others that have all got this common purpose or shared purpose. So in some circumstances it may be bringing in new people you haven't even met, but you're coming together for this common connection. And you can guarantee when you're in alignment with what's right, you know, these connections will be very, very beneficial and very connected to you at a deep level, possibly. Again, more soul connections coming in. So with the Mercury Saturn, it's a little bit of the opposite of the getting the word out and being very forceful with it. Mercury Saturn is more can be more contained in its communication. It's the Mercury, again, you know, with the communication, Saturn is your it can be restrictions and frustrations, but it's also about, you know, really applying ourselves methodically towards a particular direction, having perseverance to just you know, or the ability to really focus in or expend a lot of energy in a particular area. So with Mercury Saturn, you know, it's very good for going over details and being extremely thorough. Mercury Saturn is also good for problem solving. It's a square, so there will be, you know, possibly issues or problems coming up. But with this, I feel that, you know, it's going to be I feel if we take it down to the basics, it's going to be, you know, looking at the cards as well. What do we want to leave? What do we want to let go of? What are we ready to move away from and move forward with? If there's problems that we can't just walk away from, you know, then of course the problem solving situation comes in. I think it's important for relationships not to become uncommunicative, because that is always a possibility with Mercury Saturn. But I see Mercury Saturn as actually having the power to actually work things through more so. So, you know, it's going to depend on where it's sitting in your chart, of course, and how you apply Saturn. And, you know, we all throw in the towel quickly, but most of us tend to go back and go, no, okay, I'm going to give it another go. And this is what Saturn does. It goes, no, come on, you keep going, you'll get through this. So with this Mercury Saturn, there could be some cold hard truths coming out. Some, it's going to be very, whatever information is coming out, and I think this is more in the public arena. It could be a bit hard to swallow for some. There's no fluffiness with this Mercury Pluto, Mercury Saturn. It's just going to be what it is, and it's going to be very, very clear. Truths. There's no illusion with it. We'll put it that way. So as we move into the 27th, we've got Mercury Conjunct Node. Now this is a fantastic time, like I said, to be connecting with others, to be coming together for a common purpose, to be sharing with others. It's, groups, communities and connections are going to be really, I feel, the key to moving forward during this time. And I feel that, this is always the way this is why I sort of see the situation is not necessarily I've got to leave this job and what am I going to do, and it's more like a phone call from an old friend and they say come and work for me, or I've got no, I'm wanting to buy a property and I haven't got enough money, and a connection or a family member says come on, you want to share a property and we'll go halves in it. So there's sort of a lot there looking at that and knowing that we are going to have a lot more security for the future. So this Mercury Node conjunction is really fantastic in Taurus, I feel. The other really, really good thing going on this month is Mars conjunct Jupiter. So this is at the end of the month, and it's at 0 degrees Aries, which is a very, very potent place. It's the beginning of the zodiac. It's a point of, known as a point of recognition. So when anything's hitting that, it's really, really highlighted. It's like the sun is shining. There's a light shining straight onto that area of the zodiac. And with what we've had is we've got Jupiter there right now, which is really quite exciting. It's indicating we actually are in a really new cycle, quite a big cycle of change. And with Mars is going to be joining that a little bit later, by the end of this month. And they'll both be conjunct in Aries. I think Jupiter's around 2 to 3 and Mars will be at 0 degrees. So depending what position it's sitting in for you, again, like for Aries, of course, it's going to be in the first house. For Taurus, you go backwards, so Taurus, it'll be in the 12th house. And so you can work that way back. And then if you don't understand the houses, you can always just look at the zodiac and go, okay, what does Capricorn mean? That's what the 10th house is about. Well, what does Cancer mean? That's what the 4th house is about. And just take a couple of those main keywords, like Cancer's about the home, Capricorn's about, the goals and reaching to the top of where we're putting our energy and what direction we're wanting to go for the future. So Mars Jupiter is all about productivity. Mars is energy and drive and desire, and Jupiter's expansion. And the gaining of more knowledge and the gaining of, expanding in really whatever area we want. But when Mars and Jupiter come together, it really is the business, the enterprise axis. So there could be a lot of people thinking business could be a good way to go. And I feel there could be some very good news coming out this month that would enable or would encourage people that are, born leaders, people that really just are wanting to do their own thing and wanting to do it their way, to really step into their strong position and create something for themselves relative to business. So, I feel like there's going to be a big increase, and we've had pretty much the opposite with this last couple of years of businesses closing down, and I think people have been sitting back wondering what to do. And so there's a lot of entrepreneurs and a lot of people out there, very gifted people that are really, I think, just waiting for the right timing. Now, of course, the right timing isn't during this retrograde. I mean, I would never recommend setting up anything during that time, but I feel this is a time to reassess. So look at where you've been before you can really see where you're going. And really, that's the message for today. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to talking to you all again. Bye.